I'm waiting for two friends to show me eyes up here. I have them. I have them. I have them. Nice. All right, so that shows me that you're ready to learn. All right, so in math today, what are we learning? We are going to review, which means we're going to go over same and different. Different. Those were the two words. We already learned that. We're just going to review it. But we're going to use what we know about same and different and one-to-one correspondence to find out how many more objects we need. And I'm going to tell you why we're doing it, right? Look at our big idea. We're doing it because we're learning to count to 10, right? Using one-to-one correspondence, as well as finding one more of something, right? One more. Okay? How are we going to do it? First, we're going to use the big book, and we're going to talk about same or different. What are those two words we're using?
Same and different.
Same and different. Jaylani's, what two words are we using?
Same and different.
Aliel?
Same and different.
Adrian?
Same and different.
Jacob? Arielis?
Same and different.
Derek? Same and different. Same and different. Then we're going to do a group activity, okay? And we're going to count, and we're going to compare numbers. And we're going to do the group activity right here on the rug so everybody can see. All right? So we're going to start with the big book. I'm going to show you a picture, page number 27. Okay, everybody can see. It says, Lesson 4, same number and more. Okay? Same number and more. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a little story about these ducklings. Okay? So you have a big duck, and we see, how many?
3.
3 little ducks. Okay? So I'm going to tell you a story about this one right here. Okay? This one right here. Okay. Look, it's okay. Put it in your pocket, Anthony. All right. The title is The Ugly Duckling. Is that a nice thing to say to people? No. So let's see about this little guy right here. Okay? Once upon a time, on an old farm, there lived a duck family, just like a family we were talking about. Mother duck had been sitting on a clutch of new eggs for a few days now, and one morning, the eggs hatched out and popped. 2 chirpy ducklings were born. But one egg was bigger than the others, and it didn't hatch. Mother duck looked at the egg curiously. She was wondering. Suddenly, the egg started to shake. Mother duck was starting to wonder what was happening. Before she had time to think about it, the last egg finally hatched, and out popped a strange-looking duckling with gray feathers. Soon, the duckling grew, but Mother Duck had a secret worry. Worrying. I can't understand how this ugly duckling can be mine, she said to herself. Oh, Lele, I see your face. How does that make you feel? Sad that Mommy said this duckling was ugly. Oh, my goodness. The gray duckling certainly wasn't as pretty, and he ate more than his brothers. He was growing much faster and bigger than they were, too. As the days went by, the poor ugly duckling became more and more unhappy. His brothers didn't want to play with him, and all the other farm animals laughed at him. He felt sad and lonely. And Mother Duck did her best to console him. She did her best to help him feel better. Poor little ugly duckling, she would say, why are you so different? And the ugly duckling felt worse than ever. He cried to himself at night, and he felt like nobody wanted him. Then one day, he ran away from the farmyard. He stopped at a pond and asked the birds there, do you know of any ducklings with gray feathers like mine? But they shook their head no. We don't know anyone as ugly as you. One day, as he was wandering about, he was just walking around, an old woman who lived in a cottage saw him. Thinking he was a strange goose, she caught him. "I'll put this goose in a hutch. I hope it's a female and lays plenty of eggs," she said. She hopes it's a girl. But the ugly duckling laid not one single egg. And the other farm animals teased him and told him stories about how the old woman planned to cook him someday. One night, finding the hutch door ajar or open, he escaped. Once again, he was all alone. He ran as far away as he could, and at dawn, he found himself in the woods. Dawn is when the sun comes up in the morning. "If nobody wants me, I'll hide here forever." There was plenty of food, and the duckling began to feel a little happier, though he was lonely. But nobody was picking on him, right? One day at sunrise, he saw a flight of beautiful birds flying overhead. White with long, slender necks, skinny necks, yellow beaks, and large wings. And they were migrating south. So as it gets cold, the birds fly to where it's warmer. Remember we talked about that? "If only I could look like them, just for one day," said the duckling. Winter came, and the water in the woods froze. The poor duckling left home to seek food in the snow. He dropped, exhausted, to the ground. He was so tired. But a farmer found him and put him in his big jacket pocket. "I'll take him home to my children. They'll look after him. Poor thing, he's frozen." The duckling was showered with care at the farmer's house. Not shower like a shower, but all of the children that lived on the farm gave him love and care, right? However, by springtime, he had grown so big that the farmer decided to set him free by the pond. As he was swimming in the pond, the duckling saw his reflection in the water. So now it's been some time. Okay? And he hasn't seen himself lately. Okay? Here he is. He looked in the water and he could see. You think what? You think he looks beautiful. All right, let's see. How I've changed. I hardly recognize myself. So is he a gray baby bird anymore? No, so he looks into the water, sees his reflection like a mirror, and he can't believe what he looks like. Suddenly, a big flock of swans flew toward the pond and glided onto the pond. When the duckling saw them, he realized he was one of them. And soon, he made friends. "We're swans like you," they said warmly. "Where have you been hiding?" So, was he a duck? No, that wasn't the mama duck's egg. He was a swan egg. That's why he looks different. "It's a long story," replied the young swan. Now he swam majestically, beautifully with his fellow swans. One day, he heard children on the river bank, and they said, "Look at that swan. He's the finest of them all." How do you think he felt then?
I think he's a king.
Right? He was so delighted, he was no more the ugly duckling. He was now a very handsome swan. What do you think?
Yeah.
Ah.
Now I feel better.
Now he feels better?
I thought the animals were. I feel happy. About this. Actually, I feel.
Oh, you thought? Well, he thought so too. I think that's why he ran away. So let's look back at when the ugly duckling was born. Why was he unhappy? Why was he unhappy? Jaylanis.
Because they were saying he was an ugly duck.
So he was unhappy because.
He was small.
Well, I agree with you, Jaylanis. Does anybody else agree with her? Does anyone have a different idea of why he might be unhappy? Jaden?
Because maybe they're calling him ugly.
What do you think? Do you think he was unhappy because they were calling him ugly?
Yeah.
What about another reason? Does anybody have another reason? Yeah, almost the same reason. Aliel?
The mom thought it was her egg, but it wasn't because like someone, the girl dog, laid it right next to her when she was sleeping. She woke up and she was sitting on the egg.
Okay, so then she still cared for the egg and she took care of it. But then when the baby duckling was born, why was he unhappy?
Because all of them said
Leah, get on
he
your lap,
was
better.
ugly.
Oh, because they said he was ugly.
Everyone who saw them, he said they were ugly and stuff. The two children and the farmer.
Right, okay. Now I understand your thinking. John Diel,
I think because they're older animals were saying unkind words.
they were saying unkind words. Would that make you feel unhappy too? Derek, what's your idea?
A beautiful soul.
If they loved him, it would make them feel happy. So he's unhappy because he feels they didn't love him. Oh, that would make me unhappy too. You agree? Adrienne, why do you think he was unhappy?
Because the police called him words.
Oh, that he was being bullied, you think, by the other? Oh, why do you think he was being bullied?
Because he did, it was ugly and he was a swan duck.
So they didn't know until he grew up. Mariela, what is your thinking?
So I thought in the end they were gonna take the baby duck away.
Oh, you did? You did? So that was at the end when what happened at the end? Was he still a duckling?
No.
No. So how did he feel at the end?
Happy.
How did he feel? Happy. So his feeling was different. Remember we were talking about the same and different? Jadelis, why do you think that this duckling was unhappy? So that makes him what? Explain like what you're thinking. He's got the black things and they don't. So he's different. Do you agree with that? Do you think that the ugly duckling is unhappy because he looks different than his brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, I see that you agree. So why are the other ducklings happy?
Because
Nailea.
They're not green.
Oh, because they're not gray. What did the mother say to this duckling?
what do you do with this ugly?
Oh my
ugly
goodness.
duck?
Even the mom said that he was ugly. But these two,
They're
I tried to be friendly.
They
Those
those
say so he wouldn't get sad at them.
so how are these ducklings different from this duckling? Jaylani's.
That was not maybe
How are these ducklings different from this duckling?
because they're not the same color.
Oh, so they're different colors.
yeah, because two ducks are yellow and one duck is gray.
Gray. So the gray duckling feels unhappy because his brothers are the same color and he is a different color. But remember when we were doing Ouse Pals, we said it's okay to be different. Did the mom and the other ducklings feel that way? No. They didn't feel like it was okay to be different, so that made this duckling feel sad, unhappy. So what else do you see? Let's look in this picture. Not in that one. Yeah, we'll look at this one again. So what else do you see in this picture that is the same? Adrian.